It doesn't show up on my. Okay, Janak.
100.
100. Now let's go a little bit harder. What is 10 to the 15? Amy?
150.
Sorry?
150.
So you said 150, right? This is what you said? Okay, thanks for clarifying in the chat. So she's absolutely right. So that is 1 with 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, ... 15 zeros. So powers of 10 are easy. And we're lucky by design, we do math with a base 10 system. Because 10 to the any power is just the 1 followed by that many zeros, right? So that's the principle that we're going to be working under. The fact that we can use the fact that some numbers are near a power of 10 and make it easier to do some calculations for us. So let's do a simple example, right? Let's start with 9 times 8. So how are we going to do our multiplications here? Well, first we're going to write a long line here, a longer line that leaves a little bit of space. And here's how we're going to write this. So 9 is near 10, but it's not equal to 10. It is 1 less than 10. So we're going to write minus and a 1 here. And 8 is near 10, but it is not equal to 10. It is 2 less than 10. So we're going to write a minus and a 2 here. So this says that 9 is minus 1 from 10, and this is 8 is minus 2 from 10. Okay? And now we're gonna write a slash line here, but this is not a division sign. This is just a separating sign, because our answer is going to have a left side and a right side. So the right side is going to be simple. It is going to be this minus 1 times this minus 2. Can anybody raise their hand and tell me what minus 1 times minus 2 is? Yes, you, Rajiv.
2.
2. Good. Now, and then so that's the left-hand side. And for the right-hand side, here's what we do. We draw a circle like this. You don't have to draw a circle, but you can draw it in your head. And we do this subtraction that is 9 minus 2. That is 7. Oops. That is 7. So now our answer, 72. Now anybody who knows basic multiplication knows that 9 times 8 is 72. And also notice that if we did it this way, like say we did 8 minus 1, you also get 7. And that's because if 9 is 1 less than 10, and 8 is 2 less than 10, 1 less than 2 less than 10 is going to be 7. But 2 less than 1 less than 10 is also going to be 7. That's why whichever is easier, you can do it this way. Does everybody understand what's going on here? Is anybody, if you're confused, please raise your hand. Okay, nobody's raising their hand. So I'm going to erase this. And I'm just going to go through one more example, and then I'm going to give one practice problem for all of you. Okay, now we have, let's do another number, right? Let's go with 8, right? Or go with this. Sorry, this is a new pad for me. I have no idea how it works. Eight and 8. Two easy numbers, right? So again, yes, Parth?
Yeah, so I kind of like joined late, so I don't know what we're doing.
Okay, that's fine. This example is just another example of what I did before. So you can see what we're doing here. And if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat for me. I can answer specific questions after I do this example. So remember, our base is 10. And 8 is 2 less than 10. So we're going to write a minus 2. Oops, what's that minus? Minus 2, whatever, here, and a minus 2 here. And we're going to have the split for the right-hand side and the left-hand side. The right-hand side is going to be minus 2 times minus 2, which is going to be 4. The left-hand side is going to be either one of these 8 minus 2s, but because they're the same number, 8 minus 2 is equal to 8 minus 2. So I'm gonna draw this to make it easier to see what's going on. And then 8 minus 2 is 6. Now that is 64. Yay, we did it. We did one digit by one digit multiplication again, which you probably have learned so many times in your classes already. But I will ask all of you to do one example by yourselves now to see if you understand how to do it this way. So now I want to see you guys do 8 times 6 using this method. When you are finished, please raise your hand in the using the raise hand thing, so that I know when people are finished. Okay, so I have about 8 people raising their hands. That means I have 7 people who are still figuring this problem out. Are any of you stuck on this problem and don't know how to go, or are you still doing it? You can unmute and say if you're stuck or if you are still working on it.
Yeah, I really didn't get it because like I kind of missed the class.
Okay, I'll show you how I got through this one again, and yeah. Okay, so I have a couple more hands up, which is nice. So here's how I did it, right? So the first step is extending this line. Boom. And 8, because remember our base is 10. I can write it over here to make it easier to remember, right? 8 is 2 less than 10. 8 is equal to 10 minus 2. So I'm going to write a minus 2 here. Okay? And 6 is 4 less than 10. So I'm going to write a minus 4 here. And we're going to split up our answer, right? Our right-hand side and our left-hand side. Our right-hand side is going to be this 2 times 4. Well, this negative 2 times this minus 2 times this minus 4, because these are these are less than 10. So it's going to be 8. And on our left-hand side, I'm going to do the cross subtraction, right? Remember, if I do cross subtraction like this, 8 minus 4, that's going to be equal to the cross subtraction this way, 6 minus 2. And they both are going to be 4. So our answer equals 48. Okay? Is anybody still confused as to how this multiplication took place? Raise your hand. Everybody can lower their hands. And now raise your hand if you are still confused as to how this multiplication took place. Okay, sounds good. So now we'll do something a bit bigger. See, that was near, yeah, Parth?
Yeah, this wasn't working for some reason. That's why I couldn't raise my hand.
Okay, so what is your question?
I'm still a bit confused on the question because I don't know. I'm just confused on it.
Okay, so
Make it a fun class.
we're so what's going on here is that we are doing multiplication near 10. And as we see, 8, 6, and 9, those are numbers that are close to 10, right? And so we're using the fact that they're close to 10 to make it easier to do our multiplication, right? So the way we do it is we write the number, let's say 9, and times 7. Okay, so the first step is, so this is what a normal multiplication looks like for, well, that's not a normal 9. But this is what a normal multiplication looks like for 9 and 7. So the first step is to extend this line. Boom, right here, extended. That's a bigger line because we need some bigger space. And I write this because we're going to have a left side and a right side. And so 9, and so what we write on this right side is a minus 1 here because 9 is 1 less than 10. I'm going to write a minus 3 here because 7 is 3 less than 10, right? And so on the right side, I'm going to have this minus 1 times this minus 3, and that's going to give me a 3. And on the left side, I'm going to do a cross subtraction here. Now, this cross subtraction can be done 2 ways. It could be either done like 7 minus 1, or it could be 9 minus 3. Now, if you noticed, these are going to be the same. 9 minus 3 is going to be the same as 7 minus 1. It's going to be 6. And so your answer is going to be 63. Do you understand now?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Vashishta and Trisha, did you have the same question? What was your question?
So what if like the numbers like 8 and 6 and like the problem we did, what if the numbers are like less than 5? If the numbers were less than 5, you wouldn't be able to like subtract them from the numbers on the side, and you would get like a bigger number, right? So
Yeah,
what would you do
so
with the numbers
that
that
is a special case that I will show later.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
I'll get to that, don't worry. Okay. So that's that. Now let's try some bigger numbers, right? Let's try some numbers near 100. Let's do 98 times 97. So now it's a similar case here, except now you write 98 is 2 less than 100. 0, 2. I'm going to write the 0 there because this is to 100, but there's 2 zeros places here instead of just 1. I'm going to write a 0, 3 here. And now I'm going to do the same thing I did before. What is minus 0.2 times minus 0.3? That's going to be 0.6. And 98 minus 0.3, that's going to be the same as 97 minus 0.2. They're going to be the same, and they're going to give 95. So your answer is 9 5, 0, 6. Now, if anybody was confused by this, please raise your hand. Okay. Good job. Smart people here. Yeah, Amy, what was your question?
In the other question, there wasn't a 0, but why isn't there a 0 in this question?
So there's a 0 now because our base is 100. Look at how many zeros. Look at how many zeros our 100 has. It has 2 zeros. That's why you need 2 places here.
Oh,
You understand? Before it was just 10, which only had 1 0. Now that we have 2 zeros, we need 2 places.
okay.
This is important because let's use a little more tough example. Okay, let's do 96 times 97. Okay, minus 0, 4 minus 0, 3. And we're going to split it up right hand, left hand. 0, 4 times 0, 3. That's going to be 12. 1, 2. 96 minus 3. That's going to equal to 97 minus 4. And that's going to be equal to 93. I'm going to just connect this cross this way, or connect this cross this way, just to show the cross, right? It's going to be equal 9, 3, 1, 2. You understand? Raise your hand if you don't understand, or if you still have a question. And so, Amy, this is part of the answer to your question, because now this number is a bit bigger. This is 12, and you need 2 places here because this is we're in base 100. What is your question?
When we did the first one, when we did minus 0, 2 and minus, multiplied minus 0, 3, we wrote 0, 6. Then in the other one, why didn't we write 0, 12?
Because there's only 2 places in this one, right?
Oh.
That's why we needed the zeros here, because you only have 2 places, right? You only have 2 places in the hundreds. Remember, we're still in base 100.
Okay.
You cannot have 3 spaces on the right side. You can have as many spaces as you want on the left side, but you can only have 2 spaces on the right side, because our base is 100, and 100 has 2 zeros.
Thank you.
Okay. Now I'm gonna give you guys a oh my god, what is this? I'm gonna give you guys a problem, and I'm gonna ask you guys to do it yourself. Okay. Let's do 92 times 94. Let's do this. It might take a little bit longer, but it's the same principle as before. Please raise your hand when you're finished.
I have a question.
What's your question?
So 0, 8 times 0, 6. Would you write 0, 4, 8?
Nope. You'd write 48 because you only have 2 spaces. Remember your base? What's your base?
100.
Your base is 100. How many zeros does 100 have?
2.
If 100 has 2 zeros, that means you have 2 spaces on the right-hand side.
Okay. Thank you.
So I see people have been putting in the chat already. And 8648 is correct. So here's what I did. Now, every one of you probably remembers this before, but 48 goes here. And 92 minus 6 is equal to 94 minus 8, which is equal to 86. Now, this is how we did it, okay? Now, I'm going to show one more example, and it's going to be a little bit more out there. So here, I'm going to have 92, and here I'm going to have 88. Now, this seems like it's harder, but it's really the same problem as before. This is 8 less than 100, and this is 12 less than 100. Now, what is 12 times 8? I'll give you this one for free. That's 96. So that's what's going to go on the right side. And now, 88 minus 8 is equal to 92 minus 12, which is equal to 80. So remember the cross subtraction. It's the same both ways. This is going to be 80, 96. So remember, this method works even when these are like even lower numbers. But I'm going to make it a little bit harder, and I'm going to go back to base 10. So now there was a very good question. What if the numbers? You guys can lower your hands, by the way, unless you still have questions. In that case, please keep your hand up. But if you don't have any questions, please put your hand down. Parth, you have a question?
No.
Okay. And this was the question that was asked a little bit earlier that said, what if the numbers are low? And that is a very, very good question. And here's my answer to that. Let's say I have 6 times 7, or base 10. 6 is minus 4. That is 4. This is 4. And 7 is this minus 3. So now I'm going to do the left-hand side first. 6 minus 3 is going to be equal to 7 minus 4, which is going to be equal to 3. But 4 times 3 is 12. Now this doesn't make sense. 6 times 7 is definitely not 312. Last time I checked, at least. I sure hope it isn't, at least. And also, this does break one of our rules, saying that because 10 has 1 0, you can only have one digit on the right-hand side. And the answer to this is that it is not 312, but the fact is, because we've gone over the number of digits allowed on the right-hand side, this 1 is actually carried over to the 3. So this 1 gets carried over to the 3 and added. And this becomes a 4, and the 2 stays here, 42. 6 times 7 is 42. Does everybody understand this? Please raise your hand if you don't understand, if you have a question. Yeah, Amy.
How do you know if that, like, if there's a big number and you don't know if it's correct, how will you know if we have to carry it or not?
Well, the reason I need to carry it was because we were in base 10. You see here? I have it underlined here, base 10. That's 1 0, right? But on the right-hand side, there was a number with 2 digits. 1, 2. It's funny that they're called 1, 2 as well. This 2-digit number that's more digits than 1, which is what's allowed on the right-hand side. And that's what told me that I have to carry this 1 over. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody have any more questions? Okay. So now I'm going to give you all one to see if you can do it by yourselves. I'm going to give you, 88 times 87. Okay, and I'm going to write on the side 12 times 13 equals 156. You can use this as a reference. But yeah, I want you guys to work on that problem right now. See if you can figure it out. Yes, and raise your hands if you finish. And please don't put your answer in the chat because I want everybody to have a chance to do it. Okay, so I see 7 hands up, and I think that's a lot of people right now, and it is understandable if some of you are a little confused on how to do this. So here we are going to send this line and do the same thing that we've done before. This is 12 less than 100, and this is 13 less than 100. Okay, now we're going to split this up in the left and right hand side. As I put over here, 12 times 13 is equal to 156. And 88 minus 13 equals 87 minus 12 is equal to 85. And so here we have the same problem again, because we're in base 100 and 100 has only 2 zeros. There can only be 2 digits here, but there's 3 digits here. That means this one has to be carried over. And you carry over this, carry over the 1, and you add it to 85. And this becomes 86. 8, 6, 5, 6. And this is a final answer for 88 times 87. Is anybody confused? Please put your hand down. If you can. But keep your hand up if you have a question. Okay, Parth, what's your question?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to put my hand up.
That's fine. Ara, what is your question? Okay. Does anybody have an actual question? Okay. Vishishta and Shrestha, what is your question?
But isn't when we were doing 88 minus 13, isn't that we got 75? We got 75.
I got 75 too. That was my question too.
That was me being a dum-dum. This is 75. My bad, guys.
You're not it wrong. Yeah, because I was like so confused when you said it was 85.
Sorry. Anyways, now that I've answered this question, does anybody have another question? That was not my math mistake. All right, Darsh, what is your question?
What if you have a number that's like 15? Like 15 times 20. What would you have to do the entire 100 there?
So that is what I'm going to answer right now. Okay, so
Thank you. Yeah.
yep, I'm going to start with an easy example. So because I'm assuming everybody understands this, because I want everybody to be on point with me while discussing this next topic too. This next part of the topic. Let's say I have 12 times 11. Now before, we would have to use base 100, right? Now base 100, 12 is 88 less than 100, and 11 is 89 less than 100. And now this is 88 times 89. Now who wants to do that? Nobody wants to do 88 times 89. Well, we're trying to figure out 12 times 11. You know what are easier numbers? 2 and 1. Right? Because say I want to just be base 100. Or base 10, sorry. Now, so here's how it works if you want to be using base 10, because again, 12 and 11 are near base 10. So 12 is 2 greater than 10. It is equal to 10 plus 2. So this time we write 12 plus 2 here. And 11 is equal to 10 plus 1. So we write 11, we write a plus 1 here. Now we do the same thing that we did before. 2 times 1 is 2. 11 times 11, but this time when we do the cross, it's an addition. 11 plus 2 is going to be equal to 12 plus 1, and it's going to be 13. And you get the answer, 132. There's your answer. Now please raise your hand if you're confused. Yes, Amy? Please unmute and ask your question, Amy.
The when you start to carry it over, is the same rule gonna apply in the when you're adding?
Yes, because we are still in base 10. So that means there's still only one digit allowed on the right-hand side. Now, if I had something like 13 times 14, 13 would be plus 3 here, and 14 would be plus 4 here, and that would be 12 here. You would still need to carry the 1 because it is base 10, and you cannot have 2 digits here. You understand? Okay. Rajiv, or whoever's using Rajiv's account.
So why does it only have to be 10 or 100? Why can't it be 20?
So the reason it can't be 20, well, I will talk about it being 20 later, but there's different rules. The reason for 10 and 100 is because they're powers of 10. 10 to the 1 equals 10.
Yes.
10 to the 2 equals 100. Later on, I'll give you some problems where we're going to be doing it near 10 to the 4th.
Okay. And also, what if the number's in the middle and it can be close to either 10 or 100, like 35 or 46?
Again, that is going to be another thing that I will teach you how to do, okay?
Okay.
Because those numbers are not near powers of 10, but there are still ways that that you can, solve those problems.
Okay.
Using this method. Amy, your hand is still up. Okay. So, yeah, we'll just go through one more, and I'll give you one single practice problem, and I want you guys to figure this one out yourselves. Or yeah, like we've done before. So now we have 12, and no. We'll have like 13 here, times 15. Okay. Please raise your hand when you're finished.
So I have a question. Are we doing these for the adding one?
Yes, I want you to get to do these near base 10.
Yeah, adding or multiplying?
We're adding, we're using the adding here because these are near base 10 and these are above 10. I just realized I was muted the whole time. I'm very sorry about this. I'll go through it again though. Yeah, this happens to us old people all the time. Anyways, 13 is 3 greater than 10 and 15 is 5 greater than 10. And so we split it up into a right-hand side and left-hand side, and we do 30 times 5 is 15, and 13 plus 5 is equal to 15 plus 3, and that's 18. However, as we noted, there's only one digit allowed because there's only one 0. And so we keep the 5 here, and we carry the 1, and we add it to the 18. That becomes a 19. So we have 195 here. Now you can lower your hands if you don't have any questions. But if you do have questions, please keep your hands up. All right, Parth, what's your question? All right, Vashishta and Shrestha, what are your questions?
Because you don't even know my question. So when we did like the carry, like when we carry the 1 from the 15 into like the 18, why didn't we turn like the 1 into the 0 instead of like, and we made it a 3-digit number instead?
Why didn't we what? Sorry, I'm very confused at your question.
So when we carried like the 1 in, when we carried the 1 from the 15 into like the 18, why didn't we make the 1 a 0 instead?
Okay, I understand your question. The reason is because, so you were asking why the answer wasn't
1,900.
Is that your
Like-
question?
I mean, that is a big number, but like it's confusing.
So yeah, so the reason is because there's only one digit allowed on the right-hand side. One digit, that could be 0, but that also could be 5. If we carried the 1 and made this a 0, that would have been this 1, 9, and then you split it 0, 5. That's an issue, isn't it? Because there's 2 digits on the right-hand side now, when only 1 is allowed. Okay? You understand? Okay. I'll go through another example with you guys, and we'll do it in a higher base. Let's do this. Now, these are some big numbers. And this is in base 1000. Now, I haven't shown you a problem like this yet, that is this high, but the same method works. Now, I'm writing plus 063 and plus 132. And the reason I'm doing that with 3 digits is because there's 3 digits in here. And we want 3 digits in our right-hand side. So now, I'm gonna do 63 times 132, and okay, I don't have that on me really quickly. Give me 1 second. 398, 396, 6, 7, 8. Let me just confirm with a calculator. I just want to make sure that I'm giving you guys the right answer.
1,316.
Thank you. So this is going to be, on the right-hand side, I'm going to have 8, 3, 1, 6. Should be 3. I'm just going to erase this. 8316, and on the right-hand side or left-hand side, on this side, well, it's going to be the same thing. 1,132 plus 63 is equal to 1,063 plus 132, and that's going to give me 1,195. However, remember, there's only 3 digits in here. That means there's only 3 digits allowed on this side. And so that means we have to carry the 8. So we carry the 8 and we add it to this. Boom, boom, right there. Now 1,195 plus 8, that's going to give me 1,203. And we leave this here, 316. So there's our answer. Okay? Does anybody have any questions? Is anybody confused on a step of mine? All right, nice. So I'm going to go back to a lower number just to add one more thing to our skill set. So let's say you want to do 9 times 13. Now, let's say we're like, okay, let's do what we did before. Subtract the 1, add the 3, right? Because 9 is 1 less than 10, and 13 is 3 greater than 10. 1 times 3 is 3. 13 minus 1 is equal to 12. And you may say, maybe because it's a plus, you got to add the 3. And you'd be right, because 9 plus 3 is equal to 13 minus 1. However, this step is where we have a difference here, right? Because now we have a minus 1 times a plus 3. Does anybody know what we get when we take a negative number and we multiply it by a positive number? Yes, Janak? So it's a negative 3. So there's a negative 3 here. So now the question is, what do we do in this scenario? And the answer is, we do what I like to call a reverse carry. So what we do is we subtract 1 from here and we add a 10 from here. It's kind of like taken away the 10 from here and adding a 10 and adding the 10 there, but instead it's from here, right? So this 12 becomes an 11, and this minus 3 becomes a 10 minus 3, which equals 7. So our answer is 117. Okay? I'm going to do another example of this. I just want you guys to write this down or have it in your head or wherever you store your information. And okay, I think it's ample time for people to write this down. I'm going to do one more example, and then I'm going to take questions. Or I'm going to keep this example up. Okay, let's see if I can extend the whiteboard. Here's one. Take all this and move it here. Make it a bit more compact. So here's our answer. Okay. I just need a little bit more space. Come on. Okay, so now I'm going to do one more example of the same type of problem. And we're going to have 8 times 12, right? So again, base 10. 8 is 2 less than 10, so we're going to write minus 2 here. 12 is 2 greater than 10, so we're going to plus 2 here. All right, now we do our multiplication. We have a minus 2 times plus 2. That's going to give us a minus 4. And then we're going to have 8 plus 2, which is going to equal to 12 minus 2, which is going to equal to 10. All right, now because there's a minus number here, we don't want this. So what we do is we do a reverse carry, remember? Now we go this way to this way. So this 10, you subtract 1 from it, and it becomes a 9. And this 4, you add 10 to it, right? So 4 turns into that's a bad arrow. 4 turns into, I'm gonna write arrow here, 10 minus 4. That equals 6. So that's a 6. 8 times 12 is 96. There's our answer. Box and everything. Okay. Now, if anybody has any more questions, has any questions, please raise your hand. Saina? A question? Does everybody understand what's going on? Okay, good. I'm gonna have one last practice problem here, and I'll let you be on your way. Well, I'm gonna give you some practice problems to do for next time, but it's gonna be a doozy. Here it is. Yes, Saina?
When you were doing the problem, it didn't come up on my screen.
Sorry?
When you were doing the problem, it did not come up on my screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did anybody else have the same problem?
Can you rewrite it? Well, for us, after you wrote the whole problem, then it showed up.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll rewrite it right now. So please raise your hand if you cannot see the screen right now. If you don't see my whiteboard screen. Okay, now that everybody can see it, it was okay. So here, I'll just rewrite it really quickly and let everybody copy it down. 8 times 12. This is my problem. Boom. Now we're in base 10. I'm going to write that over here because we're near the number 10. And now 8 is 2 less than 10, so I write a minus 2 here. And 12 is 2 greater than 10, so I'll write a plus 2 here. And I'll right hand, left hand side. Minus 2 times plus 2, that's going to give me a minus 4. 8 plus 2 is equal to 12 minus 2, so I'm going to write a 10 here. However, we have a problem. This is minus 4. We don't want that. So what we do is we do a reverse carry. So we turn this into a 9, and we turn this into 10 minus 4 equals 6, 96. Can raise your hand if you can't see the problem right now, or if you have any questions. All right, that's good. Does anybody need more time to copy it down, or? Okay, so I can erase this. Okay, so now I'm going to give you guys one last practice problem for today. I know we're going a little bit over time, but close to overtime. But here it is. Practice problem is, I wonder what it should be. 88 times 103. Your hint is that you're working base 100 with 2 zeros. Please raise your hand when you finish the problem.
Excuse me?
Was someone saying something?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. So we studied a little. Me and my mom studied a little of this. So can I try another way that I know?
Yeah, sure. You can try another way, but I also want you to try this way, just to
Okay.
see if you can get this method down.
Mm-hmm. I have a question.
Yeah.
What are we going to do after we're done doing this part? So when we do 12 times 3, that's 36, and then we do 88 plus 3, and that's 91.
So remember, our answer is going to have a left-hand side and a right-hand side. I think we've got enough people raising their hands, so I think I can go through this problem right now, and I'll show you how I did it. Right? Remember, our base is 100, and that means we're relating our numbers to 100, right? 88 is 12 less than 100. 12 less than 100 minus 12. And now, yeah. If you guys could put your hands down, that would be nice. Unless you have a question, then you can keep your hand up for now. But yeah, let's put that down. And 103 is 3 greater than 100. 0, 3. And now, minus 12 times 0, 3 is going to be minus 36. Remember, this minus 36. This is minus 12 and a plus 3. And now this is going to be the same here. 88 plus 3 is equal to 103 minus 12. That's going to be equal to 91. Okay, so now we do reverse carry. So this turns into a 90. But you don't add 10 to 36, to minus 36. You add 100. And the reason being is because we're using base 100. Base 100 has 2 zeros. That's what 100 has. So when you bring this over, you need to have 100, not 10. This was a little bit of a trick, but to see if you could figure out that you would need 100 instead of 10. Now 100 minus 36, well, that equals 64. And so the right-hand side becomes 64, and your answer becomes 9064. Okay, so does anybody have any questions? Please raise your hand. Okay, Jyoti?
Sorry, I forgot to take down my hand.
Okay. Darsh?
Sorry, I forgot to put down my hand. Sorry.
Suraj?
I forgot to put down my hand.
Wow, 3 for 3. Do you have a question, Suraj?
No.
Okay, that's fine. So I'm assuming everybody understands how to do this problem, right? Is that correct? Nice job. All right. Now, because we are done the hour, I hope I want to be seeing you guys on Monday at 4 p.m. as well. And depending on how many of you stay and how many new people come, I might show you how to do multiplication near numbers like 20 or 30 or 50. So I'll be doing that. So now we'll be doing new numbers and close to new bases as well. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys 3 problems that I want you to have on Monday. Okay. I'm going to go through those 3 problems as a review. And I just want you to write these down. These shouldn't take too long. I just want you guys to make sure your brain gears are still oiled up. Okay. These 3 problems are going to be
On Monday, we're gonna learn triple digits times triple digits.
we'll be doing even more than that, I promise you.
Okay.
6 times 16. Okay, that's your first problem. Yeah, and your second problem is going to be let's do 1035 times 988. Okay. Second problem. Your third problem is going to be let me think. $128 times 94. Okay, I want you guys to figure these ones out in over your weekend and on Monday.
What was the last problem?
128 times 94. I have them on the whiteboard. Can you guys not see the whiteboard? Please.
The last problem isn't on the whiteboard.
Yeah.
It is. It's just you have to scroll over them.
Can you see them now?
I will also, guys, I will also send that in the WhatsApp group to check with your parents.
Yes, now we can see.
Okay.
I saw it now.
Okay, good. So I just want those 3 problems just to make sure that that you can keep track in your mind on what's going on here. And yeah, Amy.
You did it little to the right.
Oh, I scrolled too much.
Yeah.
Is that good? Can everybody see the problem now? Okay. Just copy those on, and I will make sure to put them in the chat.
Wait, one day on Monday, what time?
4 p.m.
Okay.
So
Same time.
do we have to solve these questions right now?
No, not right now. I want you guys to just allow yourself a day or 2 of a break from all this math, and then bring yourself to do it again later, like maybe tomorrow or the day after or on Monday, just so that you can review and make sure that you still remember how to do these problems. If anybody has any questions, you can either ask your parents to ask me, or you can, if you're in the chat, you can put it in the WhatsApp chat. There's ways of contacting us, and I'll make sure to get back to you and help you with your problem. Yeah, Amy, do you still have a question?
So can we leave now?
Yeah, that seems